You know that feeling? When the world outside is a tidal wave of noise and demands, but behind your own front door, it finally stops. That deep, physical exhale you didn't even know you were holding. You know that person, maybe it's you, who doesn't just accept a canceled plan, but feels a genuine, secret thrill, who looks at a blank Saturday not as empty, but as sacred space. If your ideal social gathering is a conversation with yourself, or the quiet companionship of a good book, this is for you. You're about to understand that this pull towards solitude isn't a flaw. It's a feature, a profound psychological signature. Society has a lot of names for it. Hermit, homebody, antisocial. But psychology? Psychology has a different vocabulary entirely. And it points to something far more powerful than just being shy. Let's clear something up first. This isn't just about introversion. That's a part of it. But the real story is deeper. It's in your wiring. Think of your nervous system like an instrument. Some are built like brass sections. They need to be played loud to be heard. They thrive on the energy of the whole orchestra. Others are like a single, perfect cello, finely tuned, resonating deepest in quiet spaces. Psychologists call this optimal arousal theory. It means we all have a preferred level of stimulation where we function and feel our best. For some, that level is high. They need the crowd, the novelty, the adrenaline. For others, that level is low. Their system is already running at peak efficiency and calm. The soft hum of a refrigerator, the weight of a blanket, the silence between thoughts. This is their sweet spot. It's not laziness. It's biological harmony. And then there's the element of control. The outside world is a chaos of variables. The unpredictable loud noise, the stranger's unexpected comment, the last-minute change, the performance of small talk. It's a constant, low-grade negotiation with unpredictability. But home? Home is a curated environment. You control the lighting, the temperature, the soundtrack, the vibe. You decide when to engage and when to retreat. For minds that are highly sensitive, analytical, or prone to anxiety, this control isn't a luxury. It's the foundation of mental safety. It's the difference between swimming against the current and floating peacefully in your own private pool. This leads to a crucial concept, the cognitive budget. Every social interaction, even the wonderful ones, is a withdrawal. It costs attention, emotional labor, and sensory processing. For the person wired for solitude, being alone at home isn't doing nothing. It's the essential, active process of making a deposit. It's rebuilding the resources the world drains. This is your charger, and it only works in this specific port. So what blooms in this quiet soil? This is where we flip the script. This isn't about what you're missing. It's about what you're cultivating when the world fades out. First, depth processing and creativity. Neuroscience shows that in states of quiet solitude, our brain's default mode network lights up. This isn't idle time. This is the network responsible for making connections, solving complex problems, and integrating memories. It's where your brain weaves the threads of experience into understanding. That shower thought breakthrough, the plot idea that comes at 2 a.m., that's your mind, free from external noise, doing its most creative connective work. Your best ideas aren't born in a crowded room. They're born in the quiet corners of your own mind. Second, authentic self-connection. Who are you when no one is watching? When you're not performing the role of employee, friend, child, or partner. Solitude is the only place you can answer that. It's where you meet yourself without agenda or filter. This builds a rich, stable inner world, a universe of thoughts, curiosities, and passions that is entirely your own. This isn't loneliness. This is the opposite. It's a deep, abiding friendship with yourself. And from that friendship comes a remarkable resilience. Third, presence and ritual. People who love being alone are often masters of micro-rituals. The precise way you make your coffee. The specific spot on the couch that fits you perfectly. Watching the same light move across the wall each afternoon. In a world that glorifies hustle and constant novelty, you find profound meaning in repetition and presence. You're not rushing past life. You're savoring it frame by frame. Now, let's name the pressure. We live under the extrovert ideal. The message is constant. Be louder, be busier, be more. FOMO, the fear of missing out, is marketed to us like a disease we must avoid. But what about JOMO, the joy of missing out? That warm, solid, utterly peaceful feeling of knowing you are exactly where you need to be. That while the world spins in a frenzy outside, you are grounded, centered, and whole within your own sanctuary. Choosing your solitude isn't a rejection of others. It's an affirmation of your own needs. It's self-awareness, not selfishness. It's understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and your cup is refilled in silence. Turning down an invitation without guilt isn't rude. It's one of the most boundary and self-respecting acts you can perform. We have to tread carefully here with immense empathy. There is a vital, sometimes blurry, line between solitude that nourishes and isolation that diminishes. So here is the most important question you can ask yourself. Does your alone time fill your cup? Or is it where you go because the world feels too heavy to hold? One is a sanctuary. The other can become a prison. For some, a strong preference for being alone can be intertwined with social anxiety, depression, or past trauma. Home becomes a refuge, but also a cage where life passes by. If that resonates, please know this. This isn't about shaming you. It's about compassion. The goal isn't to force yourself to become someone you're not, but to ensure your sanctuary isn't also your cell. Seeking support to carry that heaviness is a sign of strength, not a betrayal of your quiet nature. So let's return to the ritual, to the sacred, ordinary moments. The first, silent sip of morning tea. The deep, uninterrupted dive into a project that makes time disappear. The comfort show that feels like a neural hug. The profound peace of a mind, allowed to simply wander its own vast landscape. If you see yourself in this, if you guard your solitude like a precious resource and find universes within your own four walls, then hear this, and hear it clearly. You are not broken. You are not lacking. You are wired for depth in a world that often schemes the surface. You are not afraid of life. You are choosing to experience it on your own terms, deeper, slower, and with more intention. You are the curator of your own peace. And in a noisy, demanding world, that is not a weakness. It's a rare and revolutionary act. If this felt like a conversation you've been waiting to have, if it put words to a quiet part of you that you rarely hear acknowledged, then do something for that part of you. Hit subscribe. This channel is a space for the thinkers, the feelers, the quietly observant. For those who believe understanding the mind is the first step to living a better, truer life. Welcome. And if this resonated, the next step in your self-understanding is crucial. Our next video breaks down a trait shared by artists, healers, empaths, and yes, most people who truly treasure their solitude. It's called being a highly sensitive person, HSP. It's not a disorder. It's a neurobiological difference that means you process the entire world, its sounds, emotions, and beauty, more deeply. It explains why you get overwhelmed, why you're so intuitive, and why your need for quiet isn't a preference. It's a physiological requirement. It will connect dots you didn't even know were waiting to be connected. You will see yourself in it and understand that your sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's the very source of your depth, your creativity, and your strength.